Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So we have left with some of the services which we have done in the past. So continue further on the AWS side. We can discuss about the AWS next service, that is load balancer service, one of the important services which is can be asked with respect to the multiple companies, and they are also using on the basis whatever they need it. So before jumping to the lab part, let's see how the overview of this load balancer look as an architecture view. So let me open something on the screen side itself so you can have an idea how things are actually looking it. So let's see, this is the screen where we have few components. And for an example, this is a server. Let's say I will say it as AWS load balancer. Okay. So basically, in the normal or in a layman language, if someone will ask you what exactly load balancer, so load balancer basically means that which balance the load between the server, between the server. Now that thing can be with multiple approaches. Okay, it depends how you want to do it, but let's see how AWS actually do it and how these components are going to be working. For example, to achieve a load balancing mechanism here, I will be setting up few servers, say one server of EC2 instance 1. I'll give it as a name, and then another server is EC2 instance to another name. So this particular EC2 instance should be having a web-based server, which I'm going to enable the IIS server. Similarly, I will be enabling a web-based server that will be IIS. In both of the servers, I will be enabling, and I will be creating, for example, a web page, a registration page in both of the server, which having the details for the users, for the employees. So for example, in this one, I will be having a details for Indian Bank, for an example, and this will be having the details of Axis Bank. So how that thing is going to available? That thing is available only once we have the HTML files available into our web page. Okay, this complete whole process we are going to see today's session. Okay, then further, what else you need it? So definitely to design this all things, you definitely need the services. So we are going to talk about today AWS Load Balancer, one service. Then we will be having the security groups to be added into the group. After that, we will be adding the EC2 instances in the AWS, and then few more services we are going to define it, and some ports we are going to enable it. So for example, we are going to enable 443 port, 80 port. For HTTP we are going to enable, and HTTPS we are going to enable, and all traffic also we are going to enable it. So in that way we are going to design the complete infrastructure of our AWS load balancer. Okay, basically, this AWS load balancer having several type of components into this one. Okay, it can be a basis of application load balancer. One is application load balancer, where you will be having the HTTP and HTTPS support. Okay, another one is your network load balancer, and one more is available there. So today we are going to talk about the application load balancer, how things are going to be working, right? So let's now continue to our lab, how things are going to look in that area. Okay, so basically, let me take you to the screen of my cloud. In the cloud itself, how things is going to be working in. Okay, so basically, if I'll come to here, so now definitely my screen is visible related to my cloud screen. So I have to deploy two server first. So first come to EC2 instances. Okay, and I'm going to deploy a window-based server. Okay, because I need to do it a Windows-based server. So for an example, I don't require any old services, so I'll just terminate these instances, which is not required for a time being. Okay, now let me create a instance. Meantime, so I'll just give it as a name, Ranjit hyphen LB instance 1 hyphen server. I'll give this name. Okay, and I'll give the similar name to the another one. And I will be choosing a Windows because I wanted a web-based server into this complete component, a Windows web-based server. Okay, so I have chosen Windows Server based. Okay, the instance type I'm keeping as free tier eligible as of now, and then I will give it a name. Let me create a new pair only and just say final LB instant final LB instance one, just for a naming convention. I just want to do it. Okay, then I will be keeping it as in my download section, save, and there in the network settings again I'll modify some more settings. Here I will be choosing it. So you need to remember one thing, that availability zone should be different for both of the server, whatever you want to balance it, right? As of now, I'm keeping in one VPC only. So let's say availability zone 1A I have chosen. Okay, so next I will be choosing either 1C or 1B. The pipes of the autos and public IP is enabled. Okay, and I want to create a security group. So Ranjit load balancer security group 1. Okay, and this one also I'll just give it as Ranjit load balancer security group 1, just for the known purpose. Okay, so what I have did it, I have just given the name Ranjit LB instance server 1. I have just given the Windows server 2020 base, and then what I have did, I have given the keys which you have already seen into the first session launch instances part, and I'll just click on launch instance. So what it will do, it will just start launching the instances. Okay, meantime it is launching it, let me deploy one more instance. Let me deploy one more instance, and that I'll just give it as a name. For an example, the Ranjit LB instance 2. So I will be giving it Ranjit LB instance hyphen 2, something like this. And then after that, I will be choosing again Windows because I want to enable the web-based server. And that I will show you how you can do it in both of the servers itself. Okay. So this is, I have chosen it. And after that, I'll just create a new queue pair and I'll just give it as LB instance 2 server, something like this. I'll be instance server 2, something like this, create key pair. And I'll show you how also you can generate the password for Windows based EC2 instances. Okay, that is the step also you need to see and understand it. So let's see, I have chosen VPC and that time I have chosen 1A. So now I'm choosing it a 1B because I told, right, for balancing the load, you need both of the availability zones into the different one. Fine. This is enable, and again, I'll just enable a security group. Say I will be having the security group naming same as Ranjit Load Balancer Server 2. As of now, it is just a start for you to learning. So you need to create multiple time just for your better understanding. Once you have a good exposure over there, you don't need to create multiple security groups. You can use the same one in your environment. Okay. Now I have deployed the load balancer over here. Not the load balancer. We have deployed the EC2 instance. We chosen all the parameters correctly, created the security group, and just click on launch instance. So this part is done. Let's the launch instances have been done. We need to wait for some time to at least come them in the up state because we need to change some of the security groups here. So now if you see over here, you will be having the public address, everything is available. Now I'll go to the security group and let's modify something. Okay, let's modify some of the rules over here. So for an example, now I have to add a few rules related to HTTP because I want a web page to be available. So I will be creating a web page. Okay. So I already having the sample code with me, which can be available. Even I can put it into the description, which you can use it. So for an example, I want to use HTTP. So I have selected HTTP over here. And as of now, I want it from internet anywhere. So even though you can choose it anywhere, I prefer for also, I can directly put it. Then I just want HTTP S, and here also I want it from the anywhere, and it have picked it up. And for an example, I want all traffic also, maybe some of the multiple ports I want to enable it. So that is also I have did it, and I will click on save rules. Okay, so this I have added into this one 33894 accessing the web-based server. Okay, as of now, till if you see the one is initialized, another one is Still, it is actually in the launching mode. The status check is still going on, but meantime, when it is happening, let me enable the security groups for this one also. Again, I will go in inbound rules. I'll click on add, and then I will choose HTTP. Okay, selected HTTP, make it as anywhere. Again add for HTTPS, and again you can make it as anywhere. Done. Then all traffic enable for this one. So if you have noticed, I have added all the rules completely similar in both of the server, because I don't want things to be messed up in this area whenever it is transferring the data from one server to another. Now, as of now, also look like the server is not come up, so we need to just wait for a while. So the statistic is also one of the important concept in the AWS area, where you need to see when it is launching. So as of now, it is showing me that okay, it is up and running. Okay, so let's see how we can connect to the servers. Okay, to connecting the servers, we have a public IP available. Okay, which you are seeing on the screen as of now. Now to connect to the Windows-based server, you need to generate a password. So how you can generate it? For example, this is the Ranjit LB instance. Let me cross-check the name, instance one server. Well, just click on connect over here. And then what exactly it is going to do it? RDP clients is there. And in the downside, if you see, this is the get password option is there. What you need to do it, you need to select the get password, and then further you just select the upload private key. Okay, and then in the download section you have the server whatever you have created. For example, I have given a name final lp instance 1.m. Click on open. Once I'll choose this one and click on decrypt password, it will generate me the password of the server itself. Okay, so this is the password which I'm having right now. Okay, and I just copied this one, and to access the screen, I'll just use Mobaxterm to validate it, because Mobaxterm will be more easier to the like as a launching of the remote server. So let me just bring it to my first screen where I'm actually working on it right now. I'll just click on session, and I'll just click on session, and then I'll just want, this is a RDP communication. So I'll just paste uh, the the user and the password. So username for the Windows is administrator. Okay, and the remote host. So for example, my remote host, let me make a duplicate session for the screen so I can be getting the details quickly on the screen part. So coming to instances. So this is my instance screen, and this is the screen LB instance server 1, and the IP is, this is the IP. Okay, I'm putting the IP over here. Click OK, and I just want the password which I have just now decrypted. So let me go back to my screen, copy the password, put it over here, paste it, and click OK. So what it will done, it will revalidate these things from the AWS front, whether the key is correct or not, and then it will just launch the browser. Similarly, what I need to do is I want to save this password for a time being. Now, meantime, when it is launching it, let me again open one more session, and that is for my another server. So coming to this instances, and let me use, this is LB instance 1 done. Let me choose LB instance 2. I'll just give it a copy, keep it over here, and I'll just paste it user, and username should be administrator. Okay, and I'll just copy this thing. Meantime, the behind screen is coming up. We'll just wait it for some time. And this is the LB instance server 2, and I just need to connect it. So what I'll do, I'll again go follow the same thing, click on connect, and click on the RDP client, and then get password. Okay, I'll again upload the private key. Similar process for both of the files, you need to do it, and click on open. Okay, once it is done, click on decrypt password, and you will be having the password available over here, and just click OK, and then just enter the password into the window. So again, what exactly it will do, AWS will validate with this password, and then it will start communicating with the server. Okay, so meantime, this server is done as of now. In the first part which you have seen, that we want to launch the services, so servers for the instances, so it is launched. Now it is a server, right? So what exactly you want to do it? You now want to enable the further parameters like the IS web server. You need to enable it. So for example, to enable the IS web server, how you need to do it? You need to go to the server manager. Okay, go to server manager. Okay, and here there will be an option which you need to enable it for the any window based web server. Okay, similarly way this is also come up. Sometime what happened due to the network issue, things will go little bit slower, but as of now it is just about to come. Okay, so if you see here, this feature is also as of now loading it. It is not yet come up, and so but in meantime I'll do one thing. I'll just launch for this one also for settlement of the time. So I'll just search for the server manager. So if you are noticing on the screen, both of having the servers is available for us and both of them is active now. So I'll just click on server manager, just click this app and let it come back on the screen. Once it is done, then okay. So if you see over here, we have few options: add roles and features, add user service to the managers, and all those things. So if even though if I'll click on this one, it will just showcase me. Okay, things are available. So now I'll just begin from here. Next, okay, I have to do a installation for my web server. That is actually done by this server box only. Click on next. Okay, and then it is checking the boxes whatever I want to know. Like okay, this is correct only, and in the last side, if you see, this is the web server IS available. So I'll just click on next and it will ask me that whether you want to add these features to this screen. I'm like, yeah, I want to add this feature. And then I'll click again next. And rest of the things, I'm just keeping it default because I don't want to modify any changes. And this is again checking things and some of the supported files with these all things. Again, next, I don't want to restart the destination because it does not require. So I'll just click on install. So what it will do, it will start the installation on the server itself. So one part is done for one server. Now coming back to the second server, which we have defining. So you need to remember load balancer one screen, load balancer two screen. I'll do one thing. If I can do one thing over here, I'll just come to this one. Let me add for this server also. So for example, this server is available right now. And again, click on next. You are seeing role-based or feature-based installation. I'll choosing the same the networks of the data center available and sending the web server IES. Okay, I'll show you like where exactly this is getting used and how you are going to deploy the server. Fine. Now continue on the screen. Just click on next, and these all things let it be default. It is not required. Click on next, and these are some of the components. I don't want to explain on that area as of now. So these are some of the dependent one. Click on next, and again for this server also I don't want to restart the destination. Let it be install it. So in a time being, it will be deploy the all these services. Okay, deploy the services means it will create one folder in your C drive. Okay, once this successful installation happen, and there we will be finding few files, and there you need to modify the the programmatic view of the server, and it will launch a browser. After that only you will be seeing it a different page. So I will be showing you like the servers in both of the areas, that how things are actually going to be logged in. So, and this is one of the important step to perform it, because if this step is not will be there, then it means your IS web servers will not be enabled, and you should be configuring a different things. So once these all things will be ready, then only you will be able to like proceed further on the balancing of the load, and then we will be further moving to the side. So here if you see, the installation have been succeeded on this particular box, and now let it complete meantime. So we will do here part. So I'll where I will need to go it, I need to go to the file manager. Okay, now to the file manager, and further I need to go to this PC. Under this PC, you need to go to the local disk C. If you notice one thing, today's date is 14th in November 2023. Under this, there is a folder got created in it pub. Okay, this is the folder you need to go inside it, and after that, you will be finding www root. Under this, you will be finding two files, iistat and iistat. So you just need to delete this file. Just delete it, make it clear. Okay, make one. a notepad file over here. Like I just want to notepad file over here. Okay, and just double click on this file, and I'll just put you one code over here that is a very small piece of code related to one registration page. Anywhere you can find it on the Google. So I have picked it from the Google itself just to showcase. Okay, so how it is going to be launched, so I can show you also. Okay, so I have captured that code with me. So I'll just save this file over here. If you see over here, this is just a form to registration form for AWS users. I have just given it, and I'll just give it as for load balancer one. So this is I have just given it for this server. Okay, and I just want to save as. Okay, I just want to save as, and I just want to give it as a name index.html. The naming convention should not be changed because of the web-based server basis. Okay, and just want to make it save. Okay, once it is saved, you have been seeing it, two files getting created. One is the edge page, another one is the document page. So till this part is fine, and you can delete this file also when it is not required. So as of now, I'm just keeping it over there, or I can just delete it. Let delete it only, not required. Okay, now come back to the next server, and you can see over here, here also the installation succeeded. Make it close, go back to your driver. This is your file manager driver. Just click over here, and then you need to again go to where this PC. So once you enter into this PC, again go to local disk C, go to the folder is again created init pub, and then www root. You need to delete it and just select it, Control E, delete this file. This is not required. And again, create new file related to your web based. Okay, just select it, text document. You can select it and same page, the same content, whatever you have. Now this time I'll give the naming convention different. It was user for load balancer 2. Okay, so you are going to see the difference when we are going to see the headings over there. And I just want to save this one as an, again giving the name index.html, and I just want to change it as all files. Okay, and make it as save. Okay, so it should be creating the two files over here, and once it is selected, then make it delete. So now the part from the servers related to the server part, we already done it, and there is nothing is required. Fine. Now go back to again to the load balancer screen. Okay, on the AWS side. So for example, here now I will be going to the console home, and now I need to jump to the page where I will be having the load balancer available. So what I will do, I will just go to EC2 instances. Under issue instance only, if you see over here, there is the load balancer is available. Okay, there only the load balancer is available. Let me make it a little bit more bigger. And I just want to create the load balancer. Now the whole thing is going to be play around. So if you see here, there are three ways to deploy the load balancer. One is application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. Fine. So as of now, if you have noticed, we have added the parameter for HTTP and HTTPS into our security group. So we basically want to deploy application load balancer. So let's do one thing. Let's create a application load balancer. So we want to be keep it very simple. I don't want to make it very more complicated for the new users. Okay, so I just want to give it as Ranji load balancer. Okay, so once I have given a name, after that, what exactly I want to do it? I want to keep it as internet facing. Internal, if you are using and the product side, it should be internal. It should not be the outside world. Okay, so you should generally choose internal only. Just for a learning purpose, we are using as internet facing. IP address IPv4 and dual stack. IPv4 means like whatever the IP4 traffic it is going to be used, it is going to use it. Dual stack means it can be your both IPv4 and IPv6. Now, default VPC we have created, so I will be doing the default only. Now, the important part is your mappings part. You remember with respect to the EC2 instances, we have chosen 1A and 1B. So I'm choosing 1A and the subnet what is available and the 1B. Both of them, the load I am going to use it, and I'm keeping it 1C also. As of now, it is not required. Just for the betterment person, for example, you have a many server, then you can use it. Okay, now it is asking for the security group. So I can use whatever the security groups I have created. So every of the servers, whatever the parts I have created, it can do it. Okay. Now from here, there is the mapping. It can go and start it. Okay, if you see over here, it is asking for the listeners and routing, and it is asking me for the routing table, how you have routed the load. Okay, so here your role is going to be important. So I will be creating one target group over here, and it will take me to the another window, because I have to associate my EC2 instances. Fine. So now if you see over here, there are multiple options available, whether either using instances, IP addresses, Lambda function, or APLB, whatever. So I just want, because I have created instances, I want to choose a target type is instances. What exactly I want to give it? I'll give it as Ranjit target group. Like I want to map my EC2 instance now, so my load balancer will understand whether the traffic is going correctly or not. Okay, rest thing for the parameters as of now, I'm not changing anything. I'm keeping it default because I have not modified anything over there. Okay, and everything will be keeping it as a default. After then, I'll just click on next. Okay, then what exactly it is asking me over this screen, that okay, your target have not been registered in the target side. So what I need to do is I need to select it and including as a pending below. So what will happen? It will showcase our downside itself. Okay, similarly way I need to include this one also and again. So if you see the zones what I have created one A and one B. Both of them have been added into this one. Fine. Now what I have to do it, I have to click on create target group. Okay. So once the target group got created, you will be seeing your targets will be start seeing into the scene. But as of now, this one target group is not configured because it is not added into the load balancer. Why it is not added? Because we have left up over here. Okay, you need to reload it, refresh it, and then you will see here your target group start showcasing over this screen. I'll choose Ranjit target group over here. Okay, and then I will be having the further things to be over here. Okay, and now if you see over here, it will asking basic configuration did it, internet facing IPv4, security groups have been created, network mappings have been added, and the listeners and route have been done. After addition of all these things, now you have to click on create load balancer. Okay, and then once you have created, then you can go on view load balancer. So you might be having seen that there are this load balancer component have few more things which is available over there: zones, provisioning, state, all those things I will be running it. And then furtherly, when things will be available, you will be seeing how the loads actually getting transferred across the server, like both of the servers, whatever we have added, both of the servers you are going to see it. So similarly, you can see it in the listeners also, whatever you have added, it is showing 100 and rules, and this part also done. And this is also network mapping part where we have added all the services, security groups, whatever we have created, we have added monitoring part, whatever the things we have added. So we just need to refresh for a time being until unless this load balancer come in the picture. So basically, now giving a short recap, what exactly we did it, we actually created servers, EC2 instances servers in our environment. Then we actually created the load balancer, which is needed for balancing the load. Then further, we created the target groups where it need to understand wherever the mappings have been done. And then further, we have to see how the web-based services actually looked into our account. Okay, so these all things you need to do it before jumping into this one. Your security groups is quite important for moving around the furtherly, like how things go and move into this area. Okay, and the load balancer can be done it. Okay, and one of the most important services which can be used in a different way, depends on the areas, whatever you want to deploy it. Okay, and this service is actually take more time until unless things are not into the running state is available. And once the server is available, we need to use the DNS to access it. After that, now you don't have anything, whatever you are doing it with respect to your server, that is fine. But with respect to your load, everything will be done by your load balancer only, and then you need to access it in the browser itself, seeing the things how exactly it is working or not. So if I'll just click on this page and just add it as of now, I think it will not showcase as of now because the browser is still provisioning until and unless, yeah. Okay, it started looking coming in. So for an example, if I'll just reload this pages, if you see, this is the thing which we really want to see. So basically what is happening now, You see, this is the registration for page for AWS Load Balancer 1. Means this is where the first server it is launching it. Means load is coming to server 1. Then again, if I reload it, now it is going to the web-based server Load Balancer 2. So this is what happened. This is Load Balancer 2 web-based server it is coming in. So actually what thing is happening, we have designed the complete component of the load balancer where we have the services now available correctly and all the things are running properly in our service. We have web-based server also running, we have load balancer also running, and the things are actually running with the active state is also coming. So this is basically all about the load balancer concept with respect to AWS. Okay, hope this will help you to understand the load balancer concept. Going forward, you need to practice with this way, and this is the approach you need to follow. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope we can continue on the next session in the similar way. Thank you.